What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for coming back to another video, and in today's video we're going to be talking about White Lie. A big thanks to Jenna from Tri-Coast for sending me a screener for this movie. This is one of many that I've been able to do for them, and I very much look forward to the future releases that they have that I'm going to be doing some early reviews for. But this movie actually already came out on January 5th of this year, and yeah, I was just super happy to be able to get a screener copy of any movie to be able to add to the discussion of the film. So again, thank you to Jenna from Tri-Coast for making this review possible. White Lies tells the story of the character of Katie, who is a girl in her early 20s who is lying about the fact that she has cancer. Yeah, right out of the gate, I'll start this off by saying that this movie kind of caught me off guard. I didn't know what the movie was about. Jenna sent me a trailer for it, but I chose not to watch it because she also sent me the screener for the film. So I figured I'd just go in blind, and the only thing I had seen prior to jumping in were some of the stills from the movie and the poster where you actually see our main character shaving her head, and that's essentially the opening of the film as well. Pretty much the basic gist of this film is the majority of this film. You have this character of Katie, who is this young girl in her early 20s, who is going around lying about the fact that she has cancer, and she's essentially trying to sell it to everybody. Her father at one point in the film pretty much calls her out on it and, kind of calls back to an earlier time in her life where she lied. But yeah, she's lying to everybody. She's lying to her significant other, she's lying to her friends, and she's doing everything in her power to try to find individuals that are able to, kind of fake medical records and do different things to really sell the fact that she has cancer. And I struggled with this movie because I actually saw it last night, and I actually went to work today. I just got home from work and sat down to talk about this, and I wanted to give myself some time to think about it because the character of Katie is our main character in the film, and I just really struggled on how the film wanted me to feel about this character. At times they really kind of make you want to sympathize with her, or at least are leaning in that direction, but you as an audience member know that she's in the wrong, and anytime anybody knows that she is possibly hiding something or is kind of catching on to it, they know that she's in the wrong. They treat her as if she is in the wrong. So a part of this movie for me kind of felt like our main character is possibly mentally ill, though the film never really touched on that, and if they did, I missed it. I felt the movie for me was a little bit weird in the sense that you have this main character that is, pretending something terrible, something that is so offensive to anybody who actually has cancer or has lost anybody in their family to cancer. To see a movie that is about a young girl who is lying about the illness, it's just crazy. And it made me think, though, about the fact that there are probably people in the real life who do stuff like this that are just so selfish and so blind to themselves that they, maybe want attention, or in this case, she's kind of milking the situation to make money. Because this girl, Katie, has fundraisers for her. She's got tons of other things going on. She's on the cover of this whole thing at one point where she's got these nice images that were of her that were taken, and yeah, you have this character who is very much thriving off of the fact that she has cancer, is definitely taking the money from it, and the film never really resolves that for me. By the time the movie ends, there are people who call her out on it, who start to question her, or people who don't want to help her with her lie, people who are constantly condemning her decision to do what she does. But by the end of the movie, there really isn't ever any resolution to her character, and she started the movie as a liar, and she ended the movie as a liar. And there are moments in the film where she is really getting emotional. One point right near the end where she's lying to her significant other, and she's giving this monologue about her past and how much it means to her that the significant other stays with her because of her sickness and how she needs her and she can't be abandoned. And I couldn't help but feel by the end of the film that this movie was almost about somebody who's a compulsive liar and somebody who has maybe abandonment issues or maybe has some sort of mental illness, because this girl is just wrong in every way, shape, or form, and there's just moments where it almost feels like the film wants you to sympathize with them. Now, though this film left me conflicted as far as the overall events and the play out of this film, I have to say the film was pretty well made. It's well shot, it's well directed. It doesn't have the most amazing 3-act structure story, which again kind of ties into what I was saying earlier about the fact that I kind of feel like I just never really got that resolution, and it also just kind of, I don't really know what movie it is. You know what I mean? Is it a movie about her being being wrong, or are we just kind of supposed to sit there and watch her journey and sympathize with her? That part of the movie still kind of left me up in the air, kind of questioning how I should feel about the character and the situation. But beyond that, the film was actually really well acted. Kacey Rohl, I believe is her name, who played Katie. She gives a really great performance, and I knew I recognized her from somewhere, though in this film she's bald. I actually recognized her from a couple of episodes that she did, or about a dozen episodes that she did on the CW show Arrow, about the DC character, the Green Arrow. And yeah, she gave a really good performance in this movie. I thought she was really believable, and it made me want to see more of the movie. And that's what I'll kind of give as my biggest praise about the movie, is that I wasn't necessarily completely ingrained in just diving into the story, but I was always consistently engaged and interested to see where it was going, primarily because of Kacey Rohl's performance as this character of Katie. She is very compelling in the role, even though you kind of want to go in there and slap the living shit out of her. She's a character who's doing something that's just so offensively bad, to fake one of the most deadly illnesses in the world that has affected so many people, and to just consistently lie. You know, every time she gets caught in a lie, she just lies again and lies again and lies again. And a lot of times it's incredibly clever. And I think, again, I almost feel like the movie was about somebody with mental illness, maybe somebody who's a compulsive liar, somebody with abandonment issues, somebody who wants attention, and you're just kind of having to sit there and watch it, and it's not ever really a film with your traditional 3-act structure where you feel like by the end of the film there's some sort of resolution. I guess sometimes there are people who are just like that, and you as the person have to kind of decide whether or not you want to continue to engage with this person. That's what I kind of felt like this movie was primarily about, because this character starts as a liar and ends as a liar, and for the most time, she was a piece of crap. But I was constantly engaged in the film and wanted to keep watching because of Kacey Rohl's performance. Some of the other main cast members in this film, as you have Amber Anderson, who plays the girlfriend Jennifer, and then you have Martin Donovan, who was probably the most recognizable face in this film for me, who played Katie's father. And again, you know, I just don't really know how to feel about this movie. It's hard. I feel like it's worth a watch if this seems like something that interests you, but if right out of the gate, this kind of turns you off just because of the premise, I can totally understand that. This is a movie that can probably offend many and upset many, again, who either have the illness or know people who have the illness or know people who have died, you know, or they have somebody in their family who has passed away to this illness. I have friends who have had cancer. I've had friends who have had family pass from cancer. I've had people in my family pass from cancer. I've had people in my family who have survived cancer. So to sit through an hour and 40-minute movie about a young 20-year-old selfish girl who is faking cancer, it was quite irritating watching. But I can't lie, as a film fan, that I thought the film was well made for the most part, and that Kacey Rohl did a really good job of playing the character of Katie and really selling us on somebody who is this messed up in the head. Beyond that, one thing that I liked and didn't like at times was the music. There was a very ominous score at times, sometimes this kind of use of these very offbeat kind of guitar notes, and sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't work, but for the most part, I can say I genuinely liked the music of this film. And the directors of this film, Yonah Lewis and Calvin Thomas, I've never seen anything of theirs before. They apparently seem to work together in a lot of projects. But yeah, I like the way that they directed this film. I wish that the film had a little bit of a stronger structure, something that kind of feel some sort of resolution by the end, but I just didn't as much. I was consistently upset with the character of Katie, but I was engaged and consistently watching, and it's been on my mind all day on how I wanted to talk about this. So I have to give my props to the directors for keeping me engaged and keeping the discussion of it in my head and wanting to kind of talk about it and be able to speak about this movie. So yeah, guys, you guys can find this on things like FlixFling, iTunes, Amazon. I'm going to leave all of the places that you can find it down below in the description box. A big thanks once again to Jenna from Tri-Coast for sending me the screener for this movie. Definitely appreciated it. We're going to be doing a lot more Tri-Coast related films coming out very soon. I got some more screeners coming down the pipeline, and I'm very much looking forward to continually talking about some new stuff. I've spent a lot of time in 2020 talking about older films, and I'm going to spend a lot more of 2021 talking about the new films coming out in 2021, so you guys can look forward to that. But as usual, a big thanks to you guys for watching. Hit that like button down below, comment your thoughts on this movie and on this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.